So let's start. Hello to everyone watching via this digital enterprise. Here are a few facts about me. I'm Kunal Keshav Singh Sahani, final year Electronics and Computer Engineering branch at VID Chennai. And I currently hold a decent CGP of 8.72, and I don't know how much is going to be retained after these current facts. And while on campus, I was involved in various activities. I was part of Technocrats robotics team. I was also for 2 years consecutively part of the Moontech team. And apart from this, I was also part of the Vittige Club for a very short while, of course, for 1 year. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And currently, I've bagged an internship at Philips India for a software intern role, which offers 9 LPA CTC after conversion. So here's this question. How was the application and selection process? How many students applied and cleared it? So talking about the application and selection process, of course, for Philips India in particular, it was very general. First of all, they got us the placement cell. They had us apply to this particular company via the portal, of course. And then there were a lot of us. I do not know the exact count, but yeah, pretty much over 100 of us. And from those, from all campus, around 60 of us were shortlisted based on obviously the branch and the CGP, I guess. That's my guess. And 60 of us were shortlisted for giving the online test. So after that, the count came down for the next couple of rounds for the initial selection, which I was a part of for this particular company. Around 7 of us were selected from all across all the campuses, and then later on, Philips took on additional selects as well. So yeah, that's that. So how was the coding round, the questions and topics, especially for Philips? I feel that the coding round was relatively easier than the other companies. That's because they ask very standard questions from like very easy questions from array and strings, uh, compared to other companies which really threw DP questions at us. So yeah, talking about that, as I already told you, I do not remember the questions in general, but the questions were related to array and strings and were relatively easier. So yeah, there's no problem for that. How many levels were there in the interview process? How did you prepare for it? So talking about the levels, it was general as in any software company. So basically, there are 3 divisions: the online test, which you've got to clear. Then there's the technical interview. Then the managerial or HR. For Philips India in particular, I had four interviews in total. I mean, 4 levels in total. The first one was online test. Then I had my technical interview. I also had managerial interview. Then I had a short HR interview. So yeah, these were the 4 levels. And how did I prepare for it? So yeah, so I had been giving a lot of company interviews and tests before this. So there was no specific preparation for Philips in general. But yeah, how did I prepare for it? So in my online test, I had aptitude questions as well as coding questions. So when you will be part of this process, you will have to prepare for both of them and do this stuff. I mean, prepare in general. So you cannot do some company specific preparation. And what what else? How did I prepare for it? That's pretty much it. I'll tell you. So basically, coding practice I did from Geeks for Geeks and Lead Code, and other resources also mostly from Geeks for Geeks. So let's come on to the fourth question where we talk about this actually in detail. That what were my strategies for placement and what resources or materials were really helpful. Yeah. So let's cut this out. Geeks for Geeks was the most essential one because plethora of questions first of all there, and detailed explanation of course, and across all languages you have the code. So yeah, the first thing if you're starting from scratch, the first thing you should do for a software role I'm talking about is to go to Geeks for Geeks. They have this free DSA interview course there. Do that for all the topics. When you're comfortable with that, when you've completed it, go to Lead Code and start solving questions. Solve medium to hard questions also. Easy ones you can do them, but let's not go there. For an effective preparation, you should do medium and hard questions, and yeah, they will be very helpful. Apart from this, if you need like for the theory subjects, OS and AVMS and stuff like that, you can always use resources like I use Study Tonight tutorials points. I did not went through the books and read everything. uh Geeks for Geeks also has the specific standard theory subjects question list. You can also practice from that, because there's no point that you go around study the whole subject once again just for the placement process. That's not needed. There's specific standard questions which they ask, and you've got to do them. If you really like, if you're not focused on learning and you really want to just I mean, everything boils down to getting placed, right? So for that, you need to just study what's necessary, and I guess that covers most of it. So you do not waste your time in reading, going through the books, reading chapters, watching videos and stuff. Just go to these sites. I'll mention them again: tutorials point, and Java T point, for example, and Geeks for Geeks. Especially for oops, I prefer Study Tonight because they ask many of them ask Java oops questions. So everything which will be asked in the interview is already there. You can just go read it and use these resources. And do you think technical, non-technical clubs have any effect on the placement? I see, that depends. Okay, so I'll tell you why I feel that they do not affect. So there are two sides to it. Say you're preparing for a software role, right? The company is dead serious, like for and they basically focus on what your skills are, right? Your coding skills or your technical skills in general. Now, if you're going for some consultancy or business roles, they do matter, but I don't personally think that technical, non-technical clubs have any effect on the placement, because for a software specific role, because they do not matter. Yeah, but see, when you sit in your managerial and your HR interview, you need something to talk about, right? He'll go through your resume. Now you cannot expect the HR or the manager to I mean, who's taking the managerial sort of interview, to focus on your technical aspect, because that's already been done in the technical interview. So when he throws some questions on you, that you need to tell something about yourself to him, so you need some you know you need some content. How do you gonna bring that content to him? How if I ask you that uh where do I see the leadership quality, right? If I ask you something related to leadership quality, so you need some content that I was part of this team and I led the team and so on, stuff like that, for this particular event. So you need content, right? You need content to you need to carry on the interview, otherwise it would not be good. So in if you see in that scenario, so it's very good to be part of some non-technical or technical clubs, so you have something to talk about in your later interviews, because no one needs a person who cannot communicate well. So it all boils down to the communication, the conversation which you're gonna uh, have with the person, the interviewer. So yeah, that's important, and to carry on that conversation you need some content. So where are you going to get the content from is your experiences with these clubs. So I really recommend you to be part of the technical and non-technical club if you're thinking about isolating yourself or something like that, please do. And please, like college campus is mostly for exploration and trying out different stuff. So don't limit yourself to one particular thing, as in tech. Just go out, reach out to the non-technical clubs, and figure out yourself, figure out what you like, what you don't, right? Don't limit yourself. How to maintain CGPA and how much does it affect during placements? For the CGPA maintenance, I cannot personally comment because I do not have a very good CGPA. Like I am not a 9 plus. I have an 8.72 CGPA. I guess it's okay. I mean, if you focus solely on academics, that's also, I mean, not, I would not recommend to do that. But because there's a lot of things to do, exploration and stuff. But yeah, if you're focusing, I mean, it's very good to maintain a 9 CGPA and above thing. And if someone comes to you and tells you that CGPA does not matter, specifically for the campus placement, I'm not talking about off campus, then he's probably lying to you, because they just imagine that you have 1,000 candidates applying for a particular job. How do we filter them? So they need to have some parameter to filter them, right? Even in the online test, if you tell them to take, they're going to be tie breaks, right? So to avoid these tie breaks happening and stuff like that, they need to initially filter out people, right? So that is done on base of CGPA. And I mean, if you have a very good CGPA like 9 and above, it's very easy for you to apply to companies in the campus placement. So I personally recommend, if you can shoot your CGPA and you have the time uh, to shoot your CGPA and make it 9 plus or something, like it would really be good. But you need to accept that it matters, and do not fall into this false trap of people saying that CGPA does not matter, this and that. It does matter if you're talking about campus placements in specific. Outside the campus, I don't think it's that much needed, but yeah. So maintain a good CGPA. I would personally recommend 8.5 plus for you to apply to almost all the companies. Some of them you still cannot apply, but yeah, almost all the companies, because it does matter. And yeah, does soft skills in college really help in interviews? So yeah, that's a pretty, I believe it's not a question that you also need to ask. See, there are two things. I do not think all many students they really focus on the soft skill class. I did not focus, because it's basically a leisure class. Even though some of the teachers are not interested, sometimes I do not speak for all. Many of them really put in the effort to teach them, but like, the student is not in the mindset to learn. I believe if you are focusing on the soft skill class, I mean, you'll not struggle with the quants and verbals of the aptitude test. But I don't think you need to like, and for the Java, which also this Java soft skill, which also take place later in your third or fourth year, whatever. Yeah, if you focus in that class, it's good for you, but I do not think it's really necessary. That can be covered very easily via the online resources. So if you are focusing on the soft skill class, it's really good. I mean, it can help. I cannot personally comment on it because I never focused there. So yeah, I think it will help because the content is the same, which they ask in the aptitude questions. So if you pay attention in the class, maybe that will help. I cannot comment on it because I did not. Now let's move on to the final question. Any advice to your juniors? Yeah, I would like to give an advice that, first of all, I mean, don't get depressed. I mean, your mental, you need to be strong mentally, because the placement process will take a toll on you if you're not getting placed, and you see people around you, your friends and some other people, getting placed. People who you did not expect to get placed, but they get placed, but it's okay, because that was something which you had in your mind, right? And there's a lot of luck involved in campus placement, so you need to keep that in mind also. But you need to, maintain your mental state and, work for it, and I guess you'll get it in last, so don't worry. Also, uh really, do not focus much on other, like covering from all the different platforms. Like, you sit one day, you'll also practice from Hacker Rank, Hacker Earth, and stuff like that. Cut out that, that's not needed, because you do not need to be a competitive programmer, but you need to be a good, decent programmer. So I would personally recommend you to go to Lead Code and solve from there. But if you're like already good with your competitive coding skills, yeah, you do not need to. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And you can always reach out to your seniors, your mentors, for some really good advice, and we'll always be there to help you. So yeah, thank you.